Royce Unchained, presented by Josh Arnold, investment consultant, Mr. Money Talk. I'm not sure anyone had it on their bingo board last night that the Wolves would trade from not even from 27 to 8. They kept the 27. They traded a 12-year-old for the 8th overall pick, Pat.
Yeah, that's right. It's unbelievable. And if you were attempting to explain the second apron, but here's what I can't understand. Okay, they get Dillingham, which he's going to make $6 million. $6 million, but the hit goes from 56 million to 84 million as far as the overage you got to pay. Why is that?
Well, there's multipliers, right? So it's like I don't have it in front of me, but every dollar, the further you go up into the luxury tax aprons, every dollar is taxed, exponentially more. So
basically they have to pay 4 times as much for him, but also we had the $109 million figure as an overage before. How is it now 56? Then, but now becoming 84. I don't. They could teach a class in college on this on the NBA salary.
I'll say I'm foggy on the math too, but I have heard for 2 months that everything that's been slid in front of Glenn Taylor, as long as he's the owner right now, he has said yes to. So, Pat, someone told me reliably that they are projecting to because of all the luxury tax penalties, to potentially take a 9-figure loss as a franchise in the next 12 months. I mean, these are unprecedented luxury tax payments. So, and Glenn Taylor is saying yes to this point.
But I still don't trust him not to trade Cat. So because Tim Connelly once again has demonstrated to us that he's got stuff going on that Woj and Shams and everybody doesn't know. He runs a tight ship over there as far as rumors are concerned. People throw stuff out that they think's going to happen, that they feel like's going to happen, but they have no idea. This guy's can do anything. We could, the trouble is trading Cat when you have no ammunition in the draft is got to be hard, right? Doesn't it? I would think that somebody will want to exchange draft choices or some damn thing. I don't.
A couple things. One, to your point about Tim Connelly operating in the shadows, I'm trying to think back to the 2+ years. The Gobert trade, completely out of nowhere.
No hint.
Conley, there was D'Lo steam, but it was all just sort of like speculation based on his contract status. But the Conley thing, completely out of nowhere.
Yes.
At no point did anyone speculate the Wolves have interest in Mike Conley and might swing a trade. And then last night, nobody had it on their radar that he was going to jump into the top 10. So you're right. He operates in the shadows more than just about anybody.
Now this guard, Dillingham, is. I saw Kentucky play this year. The time I watched them play, they got over 100. They looked great. I can't recall him standing out from the rest of them because they had such athletes, but they didn't play any defense all year, and that was their downfall. And weighs 165 pounds. Wow,
he's not very big. Yeah,
that's. He's going to. He'll get his 18 minutes playing behind Connelly, but that's going to be 18 minutes when you play offense instead of defense. Is that going to be it?
They're going to have to flank him for sure. Yeah, make sure he's handcuffed to Jaden and some of the other guys.
Yeah, but who guessed coming out of this draft, first round, the Timberwolves might have done better than anybody.
Terrence Shannon Jr. was dropping 30 points every night in the Big Ten.
And he had to beat a rape charge, but he was, he came back, played for Illinois. He was fantastic here against the Gophers. That game? They couldn't stop him at all. And, he's a really good player. And, you would like him to go easy on what a great guy he is, quotes, but they're coming at, because he does have that in his past. But he beat it in a rather quick trial with a 2-hour deliberation by the jury too. So I mean, I don't think he should be banned from the game or anything like that. But there's a reason he was probably available at 27. He's big though. He's 6'6".
Yeah.
He's I mean, this is everything they needed: a backup point guard and a scorer. Right, another guy that can score. It's he's a he's Ant light. He's Ant Junior as far as the athletic ability. I think I loved him.
On Connelly too, Pat, the thing that I like about him, and I think why things don't leak, I don't feel like he's a guy that sits down at a big table with 15 people and says, "What do you think, Joe? All right, Jimmy, do you agree with Joe or do you agree with me?" I think the collaboration is probably done in a very, very small group, and then Connelly says, "Here's what we're gonna do, boys."
Yeah, well, he probably wanders over to Finchy and just has a 5-minute conversation and says, "You think this is going to work?" And then he's got a couple of guys that he trusts and he talks to them, but he's not. It's not I agree with you. I don't think it's a big room with a lot of leaks going on. So it's obvious that he looked and said, "We are in jail if we're paying this.
Yep.
So we better do everything we can right now to bring in some reinforcements." But here's the other thing. They got two guys coming that are going to play next year. Miller and Clark are both going to play next year. So they don't have to, I think what we made, it's all about Cat and for this year and trading, blah, blah, blah. But you go another year, Jaden McDaniels might be the guy that ends up getting traded. So if he kind of, if he kind of stays where he is offensively, and you now got this Clark kid. Now he's not McDaniel's size or anything, but you got other guys, defenders that can play because I think it's a key year for McDaniels to do something offensively. If he doesn't, he'd be easy to move too, man. A lot of teams would want him. So
yeah, I mean, yeah, that's if he doesn't become like a 15 or 17 points per game guy, then are you overpaying at 25 million? Right now, it's probably fine, but you're right.
Yeah.
And it's, by the way, Pat, here is a list of some of the recently drafted Kentucky guards. There's been some that have flopped, but Tyrese Maxey, Tyler Hero, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, De'Aaron Fox, Malik Monk, Jamal Murray, who was drafted by Tim Connelly, and Devin Booker, all in the last 10 years, Kentucky guards.
That's pretty good. Cal, you should have won more than 2 titles. Did he win 2? Did he win 2?
He won 1.
Just one.
That's why he's at Arkansas now.
All freshmen, right? Yeah.
Good point.
He's at Arkansas now, and of course he's unbeaten team got beat by Wisconsin. In the semifinals. That was Cat's team. They were. We forget how invincible we thought that team was, but. Things are not as easy as Kentucky. Kentucky's had NIL for a long time, and now everybody's got NIL, so it's not quite as easy to build it. But there is no place in the world like it. It is the Tuscaloosa of basketball. It's the heartbeat of basketball. There's no doubt about it. They're crazy there. So
Yeah,
I've been down there a couple of times, and unbelievable. But this kid is he can shoot it too, right? He
shot 44% from 3 last year at Kentucky. That's crazy.
And Shepard ends up. Was Shepard more of a guard or a forward? Is he kind of a big guard?
He's more of a guard. He was like the 3rd pick, right?
Yeah,
3rd or 4th pick.
Yeah, huge. Yeah,
that came out of nowhere.
How about France having 4 picks in the top 8 or something?
State of the draft.
Crazy.
That right there. That is the state of the NBA draft.
State of college. It's the state of college basketball is what it is. College basketball is a disaster. Who are these guys for the most part, unless you're a student? Is there anybody saying, "Oh man, this kid's this Michael Jordan's coming into the league out of college"? Who's
right?
The college game is in big trouble, in my opinion. When you can have a team win back to back with 2 different teams, It's weird, man. It is. You can't call it a Yukon dynasty because they're different players. So it's amazing.
Can
Yeah,
we
it's the
please
Dan
though?
Hurley dynasty.
Can we please have the draft now? Because the draft is becoming to your point. It's like, who's this guy? Who's that guy? Can we have the draft make sense so that trades can be made and announced during the draft? Like I feel like at one time it sort of worked because we still knew the players. But the curiosity now is we don't know who these kids are. At
Who
least
are
can
they
the
playing
NBA
for?
clean up that stupid rule that they have?
Probably not. They haven't changed it in 20 years or 15. But so how long? I wasn't watching. I just look on Twitter. I don't pay any attention. But because I don't know who the hell they are anyway. The big goofy
Yeah.
Frenchman. I don't know. And but how long before Woj and the boys were on that the Wolves had acquired Dillingham? Not very long.
It
Right?
was pretty shortly after the pick. I
Yeah.
think it was they
Yeah.
were maybe on like the 9th or 10th pick. It was pretty quickly
Yeah.
after.
That was definitely the shocker though, and knowing this guy, he might get a player today. What at 37? Is it 37? So
Yeah. Well,
the
Cam
seventh
Christie's
pick
been on
today.
their radar reportedly. The
Oh
Gopher.
God, I was so happy he didn't get drafted in the first round. It would have made
What?
because can't guard anybody. He'd get 25 when he was getting open shots. When he had to do something, he'd get 8. If that's the state of college, if this guy's an NBA first rounder, basketball is in trouble. He wasn't though. So
What about Bronny James
and
today at 37? Bronny James at 37?
no, I don't want Bronny James. Let LeBron have him for God's
How
sakes.
about Pat? How about Bronny James at 37 and then LeBron opts out of his Lakers contract, signs a veterans minimum deal with the Timberwolves?
That could that could work, I guess.
He
But
comes
And gets
off the
Finch
bench though. You
fired.
got to come
And
off the
gets
bench with this team.
how
gets
about
Finch
we
fired.
draft? How about we draft? How about we draft Bronny? So then the Lakers will have to give us a number one, the back to get Bronny, right?
Yeah.
Because to keep LeBron happy, they got to get Bronny, who can't play, by the way, but that's okay. What he averaged 4, he did.
He's
Have
the
a
only
heart
he's the
problem.
only
He did
second
have a
round
heart
pick in NBA history that restricted his workouts to just 2 teams, right?
Who Lakers and who else?
Suns. I think the Suns were the other
Yeah.
team.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right.
But
Yeah.
Pat, keep in mind, LeBron doesn't have anything to do with who gets hired as the coach, executive decision.
No.
He's made it very clear he doesn't want anything to do with any of that. He and JJ did a podcast together and never talked about the Lakers coaching job, not once.
No, during a podcast, they never talked about it. So they were partners on the podcast there for a while, were they? I don't know.
Oh, they did a
I know
podcast
Jetty.
together.
I know
6
JJ
months.
I know JJ was big on the podcast world. I didn't. I haven't followed.
He literally launched it was a deep dive X's and O's YouTube podcast with LeBron where they would each have a glass of red wine and they would break down film from a high level perspective. And it's funny because
the NBA draft now, guys, the players are only marginally more identifiable than the NHL draft and the MLB draft. They're about as well known as those guys. The NHL draft is, there's not much difference really anymore. It's just a bunch of nobodies.
Speaking of college baseball, did you see the Texas A&M clip? Just for the audience, real quick, the Texas A&M coach.
One of my favorite moments in sports observation. It's unbelievable.
Super defensive, right? This is my I brought my family to Texas A&M. We are Aggies for life. How dare you ask this question? The next day he's at Texas.
Yes. Well, he's saying that the same morning Texas has fired its coach. So they already have a deal with this guy, right?
Yeah.
The Texas coach didn't get fired till Monday.
How dare you question my integrity?
Baseball is full, college baseball, and John Anderson was not in this category, okay? But college baseball is full of these 60-year-old pricks, for a want of a better word, just jackasses, and this guy's one of them. They're just these surly guys that sit there and the game lasts 4 hours and they make 18 trips here and there, and there's the South is full of these guys, these idiots, and this guy just won the award. There's no doubt about it. Unbelievable. What's
He told the reporter it was a selfish question to ask him
yes,
about leaving,
yes.
and then hours later he left.
Does he? You think he feels? I don't even. You know you can tell what a pompous jackass he was.
No, he feels
That
zero remorse.
yeah, he does. So and you go to Texas. If you're an Aggie and you go to Alabama, that's not so bad. But you're going to Texas. The couple of times I've been in Aggieville, and they are so paranoid about Texas, and their inferiority complex about Texas is incredible. They were, when they walk their horses around, I don't know if they still do it, but they have their big ROTC program. They always have the ROTC come out before the game, and flag the flag stuff takes 10 minutes every game. You got the anthem and all that other crap, and but the horses the ROTC horses are walking around the outside track, and behind them they have plebes, first year ROTC guys carrying wagons to shovel the crap in if the horses decide to do their business while they're walking around there. And the wagon that they're putting the horse crap in is orange, which says Texas on it. The wagon. That's what they feel about Texas. They're paranoid about Texas, and now this guy makes that switch. Unbelievable.
It's wild.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's great.
Unbelievable. So we get David Festa today at an afternoon game.
It's a Festivus for the rest of us.
Yes, we'll get to see him. How can that kid really weigh? He's six. He's almost 6'6", I think, and they said he weighs 185. I know he's lean, but he can't weigh 185.
I'll say it. We saw him pitch at CHS Field last week. I thought 185 was generous.
Really, he's that lean, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, his body is a clothesline for his jersey, basically.
Is that right? Man alive, it must be. What'd you think of his stuff? Throws hard, right?
Yeah. Well, it was a rocky start, but then he started just sort of bearing down in like the third or fourth inning, and he misses bats. He hasn't walked anyone in a couple weeks, which is the biggest thing.
Yeah, he was walking. Yeah, earlier this year he wasn't. He was going 4 1/3 because he'd throw 90 pitches to get that far. But I'm interested to see him. It'll be Simeon Woods Richardson got into the 6th again last night.
He showed you. He has shown you.
He is showing me, but he's also they get him out of there as quick as they can too, don't they? I mean, they're not showing tremendous confidence in him when he first struggles at the first time. Here's my big question last night. Okay, this drove me crazy. Who was watching? You weren't watching, Judge. You can't see it.
I was listening.
Okay. I watched the first part of the game, then I fell asleep.
There's a runner on third. There's a runner on first and third, and they're ahead 8-2. And they got the infield up, not way up, but they got the infield halfway up with a 6-run lead in the 6th inning.
Yeah.
What the hell's going on here?
I don't get that either.
I don't care what the percentages tell you, morons. You play deep and get the out. That's more important now than you get a base hit there, and they got a chance. So anyway.
Galaxy Brain Twins coaching staff at it again.
Yes, right. That was the infield was up. I'm saying, oh my God, Calvin Griffith would drop dead if he saw that.
Oh man. Well, Pat, good catching up, and we'll do it again tomorrow.
And we'll see what he does today. He'll probably get a 37. He'll get somebody that they think can play. They don't just give away the second rounders like the tradition used to.
They're not selling it like they used to.
No. David Kahn. Oh my gosh.
Well, hey, don't ever badmouth David Kahn. He gave the Ricey and Mackey show one of the great moments in the history of radio. So we can't.
Michael Beasley smoked a little too much weed.
This guy's got him fined a lot of money.
50,000 for him, another 50 for the team.
What a proud
The
moment.
Wolves organization sent us a handwritten note basically saying, thanks for lightening our bank accounts with that interview. We appreciate it.
That's right. All right. See you, gents.
All right.
Okay.
Royce Unchained here on SKOR North.